Alright, it should have restarted now. So, hello Francis York Morgan, by the way. Frances, not Francis. Hi. Sorry, but I've swapped the game now. 3 hours of deadly pee is only as much as I can handle. So time for 3 hours of Indigo Prophecy. I need the coffee. My coffee warned me about this. This one's gonna be a doozy. The mastermind, David Cage, he's done it again. So yeah, people might know David Cage more specifically for his more recent games, namely Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human. More specifically, probably Detroit Become Human, because Heavy Rain was still kind of a niche title. Probably very niche because of the fact that at the time of release, it was like, or rather during development, it was made for the PlayStation Move. Yep, you guys remember the PlayStation Move? You guys remember when Sony was like, yo, look at this thing that Nintendo's doing. Let's do that, but better. Except it was not better because it didn't have any good games. And most of the people that bought, like, a PlayStation were not interested in motion controls. So the PlayStation Move kind of, like, took a shit and died. And face planted and died. Except for one specific developer, David Cage. David Cage saw very big potential in the Move, and basically made the entirety of Heavy Rain be central all around it. But that's not the game we're playing right now. What we're playing right now is another really shit game by David Cage. The first half of the game is good, and then, oh jeez, I almost tripped on my fucking, yeah. Almost tripped on my fucking sandal while carrying the kettle and the cup, jeez. Very niche, because you can press X to Jason. Can you name any other game where you can press X to Jason? I know of one game, actually, Mr. Vida. It's Silent Hill Shattered Memory. You can press X to Meryl. That's the only other game I can think of that does the similar mechanic. Cheryl, not Meryl, it was Cheryl. You get to press X to Cheryl. Yeah, that was a game. Wasn't it for the Wii? No, it was released on the PS3. I think it released on the Wii first, and then released on the PS3. I have my coffee. Now let me boot up and show you what resolution this game runs in. It runs in like 480p at first. After which, it will swap to 720p. After which, it will swap to 1280p. Quantic Dream. Oh man, the old Nvidia logo. Man, you guys remember this shit? Yep! Let me close the fucking audio. By the way, this game gets fucking, like, copyright struck to shit and back on YouTube. You do, in fact, remember this. Resolution switching. Yeah, this looks even worse when you're playing with full screen, because it's forcing your screen to swap resolution every time. This is gonna make me laugh every time. And then there we go. There's the actual resolution. Remember the old Ubisoft logo? I remember, like, EA Games Big. That's what I remember. I remember when EA Games actually had, like, a good sports game department where they made the SSX games and shit. And like, they made snowboarding games and like, this basketball game and the baseball games. It was like, they had a good sports department. What happened to EA Games? They made good games back during the GameCube era. So, yeah, this game is made by David Cage. You can tell because it has the audacity of, instead of having a new game screen, it says new movie instead. Harry Potter and the Quidditch Cup was okay by EA. You like the France team? You like France team? You know, they made some okay Harry Potter games too. Like, they used to be really good during the GameCube era. They put out some good shit. But then it all kind of went down the drain after a while. Around the PS3 era. Like during the PS2 era, they were fine. Okay, not all of the Harry Potter games were good, but it's like, when you're a Harry Potter fan, all you want is getting to walk around Hogwarts and casting spells and shit and go to classes. And those games gave us that. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted, and the games gave me that much. Speaking of, they're making a new Harry Potter game, which actually looks kind of good. But yeah, I mean, it actually looks kind of good. The new Harry Potter game. So where the fuck was I in the game again? Let's play. Oh, all right. I remember now. I was trying to figure this shit out. There was this weird puzzle that I was trying to figure out about, like, the banknote. I know what the answer is, but the game says no. Okay, where the fuck is the thing? Oh, I gotta relearn these fucking controls. So yeah, this game gets copyrighted to hell and back whenever I put it on YouTube, by the way. The last time you watched Fahrenheit, you saved some child from drowning. I think that was last stream. Then I kept going for a bit. No, don't go in the bathroom. Don't. So yeah, I'm doing a thing where it's like I got a piece of bank paper, and I gotta figure out like what the fuck do I do with it. I know what the bank paper is, but Carla is like, no. Yeah, you probably went to bed. It reminds you a lot of Broken Sword. Who is that sounds familiar. Who is the team that worked on Broken Sword? Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars? Is that it? Is it Shadow of the Templars or Shadow of Death? Let me see, Shadow of the Templar. It kind of looks like this a little bit. No, this is wrong. Shadow of Death. It does not lead to anything, it just takes me back to Shadow of the Templars. Probably a different name, though. Angel of Death? Okay. I'm wrong. Let me see. Oh, yeah, you did mention that. I do recall the Googling of this. Open up your computer, Carla. I hate that I can't use the WASD for this. Pardon me. Da list. The Valium. I recall actually going on this website. I went to ValiumForLess.com. And then it tried to give me viruses and bullshit. And get me to sign up for the newsletters. And it wanted me to like install some app for my Opera browser. And I'm like, okay. Don't go to that website, people. Don't be like me. Be smarter than me. Also, like, whenever I'm playing as, like, the dude, the African-American dude, he keeps getting a bunch of depression for no reason. So, Carla doesn't have the paper for reasons. Question mark?
Normally, I don't like leaving Sam home alone, especially now.
This bookmark has me intrigued.
I had a gut feeling that I was holding the key that would identify our killer. I felt like I was closing in on him, and I wasn't about to go home to sleep until I figured out what this paper meant.
What this paper meant? We gotta get the papers before we do. Alright. We have the paper. Put it in a fax machine. Scan it. Alright, cool. You did the thing, Tyler. So remember, I know that the answer to the puzzle is that you look at the paper with, like, underneath the light. But every time I fucking tried, the game was like, no. 2 passion fruits? Just raw passion fruits? You can just eat those? Wild. Is the game gonna fuck with me again? Yeah, that's how people type. This is like the worst position to be in when typing in a computer. I'm in that position.
Oh man, nothing but stock quotes. How can anyone possibly
There you
decipher
go.
these
We did
things?
the stock quotes thing.
Wait a minute. That's it.
Tyler is
I
at
gotta
max,
call
but
Carl
whenever
right
he's
away.
gonna stand up, like the game's gonna force me to get the depression. Can eat cereal without milk. Jeez.
Hello?
It's a list of stock quotes.
Yeah, there
Our
you go.
bookmark was printed in a bank.
Yeah.
Of course. It's so obvious. How'd you figure that out?
I went on Google, you dumb bitch.
It was right under our noses.
Had
from the
to look
beginning. We
on the
never saw it.
internet.
Now all we have to do is figure.
Literally
which bank
stumbled
printed
on a
it.
random,
think I
like,
have an
piece of
idea.
news
I'll call you
by
right
luck. And he's just like, I figured it out. It's the stocks. The stonks. It's Elon Musk. He's the killer. Elon Musk is the origami killer. You don't clean kiwis before eating. Yeah, just take a raw bite out of a kiwi, skin and all. No, don't turn it off. Turn it back on. We need that shit on. Because I know the answer to the No, I'm not trying to get on the computer. I'm trying to stand up. Oh. Was this cutscene so fucking long, too? And it's gonna give me the depression. Oh! What happened? I swapped too quickly! And it gave Tyler the depression anyways! I was mashing the button to swap to Carla. To like, not get depression on Tyler. But then the game is like, nah, fuck you. Here's depression on Tyler anyways. Even though we're not in the same scene anymore. So there you go. She has the paper now. Can you look at the thing? Is there anything you can interact with the paper? Oh my god, don't tell me this was the fucking... I'm gonna be so fucking mad. You guys remember the gay
really
friend?
sorry to bother you, Tommy.
Tommy,
No problem. I
do
wasn't
you
ready
know
for
anything
bed yet
about
anyway.
banks?
What can I do for you?
It's about one of my investigations. I thought maybe you could help me with a question I have. I was wondering, is there a way to identify a bank from a list of stock quotes that they've printed?
Normally, yeah. Banks always use watermarked paper, which shows the bank's ID code.
The ID code is printed on a watermark? All right, I'll check our document to see. Thanks, Tommy. Good night.
Thank you,
Night,
Tommy.
Carla.
You sure you don't want to go and get your tarot cards back? You kind of just left them all over my place. So there we go. We figured it out.
Got to
Just
call
call to Tyler. Where's the phone? Yeah, that's his cards right here. And it's just like, no, you're not gonna pick. You're just gonna leave them at my apartment. I mean, I guess if we live right in front of each other, that's fine. But like, it's still kind of wild to just leave your fucking belonging at somebody else's house. The Jumbo Scorpion's Indigo Prophecy. Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Our bookmark should be watermarked with the
Do you
bank's
think
ID
I'll
code.
actually... I don't know.
I'll check
Do
it
I
out,
know
call you
Grant
right back.
Morrison? No. I don't know anyone's names. I just know one name, and it's David Cage. Oh! Yeah. Now it says Carla. I glitched it. Let me take a look. Left shift, left control. No, I was still... Just pick up the goddamn paper, Tyler. Then look it up under the glass. Oh, Oh. How did I remember this, but I couldn't figure it out? I walked around Carla's apartment for like 15 minutes last stream. Then I figure it out immediately in this. I'm just like, maybe I could ask Tommy. Move the light with the joystick. I don't have a joystick. Oh. There you go, Tyler. Get unstressed, because the game is forcing me to make you stressed. I will curse David Cage's name on my deathbed.
You should have no trouble identifying which bank it corresponds to.
This time we've got our killer. I think I'll pay a little visit to the bank tomorrow.
You want me to go?
A comic book writer? No.
No, I'd rather go myself if you don't mind. I'd like to see what our boy looks like. We'll meet afterwards at the station and compare notes.
Tyler can do other shit while she's taking care of it. Tyler's been stressed. He needs a day off. Literally working overnight. The joystick was the friends with me. Comic book writer that does a lot of LSD and dabbles in the occult. You remember some big YouTuber saying he thinks David Cage straight up ripped Morrison off in the game's climax? I mean, the first half of the entire... I got the game paused, by the way. I basically have it frozen. The first half of the game, I feel, is kind of good. Where it's like, it's a cool murder mystery where you get to control, like, the killer and the cops trying to figure it out. And the killer was possessed and all. And I'm just like, yeah, this is a cool story. But then there's, like, the halfway point where we just, like, start kung fu fighting. And I don't get it. What happened? How did that happen? Sorry. My throat. I need the coffee. It's still too hot, though. David Cage watched The Matrix. It kind of feels like... I've said it last stream, but it feels like basically there was an intern at Quantic Dreams that wrote out like half of a script for a game, and then because it was an internship, of course, like the office just owns the content. So when the internship was over, did I just give up on Deadly Premonition? No, I just do 3 hours of each, and then I'm gonna play Clock Tower 3 in 3 hours. So yeah, basically, I feel like there was an intern. He wrote half a script, then the internship ended, so he just left, and he left the script there. And David and everyone around the office is like, oh man, the script is pretty good. The script is pretty good. So then they hand the script over to David Cage and they're like, yo, can you finish this? Because this is a good script. And then David Cage is just like, I don't fucking know what to do with this. So he takes it home and starts watching movies in the middle of the night, like half sleep deprived. He watches The Matrix. He watches some cop movies. Which is why there's an angry scene with... There's a scene with, like, an angry, like, police department sheriff. And it's like, oh. And there's zombies. He probably watched the Roswell movies. Clock Tower 2. I thought Clock Tower 2 was good, though. Let me look. Clock Tower 3 is hilariously bad, though. Like, hilariously bad, like Deadly Premonition is. Let me take a look at some pictures. Oh, I didn't think it was 3D. That's news to me. Maybe I'll play Clock Tower 2 at some point. God, this looks awful, though. We haven't seen the follow thing again in a while. Hold up. Let me just, like, turn it on, Adrevi. You don't need to make a new account.
Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye, Meg. Goodbye, Mr. Norton. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
I can't even keep a straight face. Watch Starship Trooper as well because of random ass giant bugs. Maybe. Yeah, I can't. It's been 20 years. I played Clock Tower 3 when it came out. The girl at the start with the knife at the beginning of Clock Tower 2 is then ironically scary. Yeah, some parts of it are scary. It's just like, it's been 20 years. That game is as old as I am. And I played it when it was new-ish. And I'm just like, it made me laugh back then and it's making me laugh now. I can't watch it with a straight face. I get a chuckle. Goodbye! Goodbye! Thank you! Goodbye! FUD. You mean 2, Nautri? I know you mean 2, so maybe I will play 2. Maybe. But the idea was to play bad games on Sundays. But something I just realized is that, yeah, you told me that her name is Alyssa too. But yeah. It's very bad? Okay. The original idea was to make it Sunday being a bad games day. But I might just turn it into a horror game day. Like, because I just realized that Deadly Premonition, Indigo Prophecy, and Clock Tower Tree are all technically horror games. Unplayably bad. That sounds like Silent Hill 1, and it sure looks like it. David Cage knows how to throw in heavy themes while completely not understanding them himself. I would compare him to being like the M. Night Shyamalan of video games. You know, you guys remember M. Night? He made like a bunch of movies and he put himself in it. He made like Children of the Corn or something. No, he made Signs. That's what he did. He made Signs, and then like that got really popular, and everyone was just like, "Yeah, that he's a genius." And then he went on to make a bunch of bad movies that get progressively worse and worse, but people still hail him as a genius. That's exactly what's happened to David Cage. David Cage made Omicron, which I remember it being good at the time, and I think they got like David Bowie to do some of the music or something. But then everyone was just like, he's a genius of storytelling. And then he made this game, which people were like, this is kind of weird. And then he made Heavy Rain, and then he made, like, they get progressively worse and worse. But he, like, yeah, remember Lady in the Water? He puts himself, he's the Messiah, like, writer. He's the chosen one. He puts himself, yeah. The monster eat his critics. Oh. So yeah, that's basically what David Cage is, where, like, he had one good bit, and it let it go to his head. He made the Last Airbender movie! And Night Shyamalan made the Last Airbender. You never even finished Lady in the Pool? Oh god, it was so awful. Let's go back to the bad game. We're playing Lucas now. Sup, nerd? Last time we saw him, he went into, like, he dove into the water to save a kid. Sup? Yo, you know what? Hold up. Let me check something. What if I just don't answer the phone? Because that's gonna trigger, like, the bad guy, like, possessing me? I'm curious. What if I just don't answer? And this is why David Cage tells people, don't play my games twice. This is why he tells people, don't play my games twice. Because then you start to notice the seams. You ruin the experience, he says. When did you find the time to put that thing back up? I knocked that shit down. Kung Fu kicked it off, by the way. I can't even interact with a damn thing in the apartment, as a matter of fact. Also, wasn't there supposed to be, like, some buildings very close by? What happened? You're not that high up, Lucas. Oh, I remember. Now I remember why the